economic impact of having these strikes ongoing? We're just about to talk to Johnson Derry, who is an analyst currently with ABC Capital. Abby.
Well, many thanks there, Joy, on our regular segment that is Texpo, just exploring some of the latest technologies around humanitarian response. And just picking off, Joy, from what you mentioned there, Derry, good afternoon, good to see you. Happy belated Jamhuri Day. Of course, it's been a busy weekend. But let's just get straight in. Perhaps you've seen a lot of activity in the stock markets. You're seeing the big stocks have sort of dipped. That includes KCB, Safaricom, East Africa Breweries. What do you make of this trend now that you are heading to close of the year?
Well, the year is over, where we don't expect miracles towards the end of the market. So therefore, we expect that we will close pretty much around where we are right now. Couple of days, trading days left to the close of the year. So expect the levels to maintain. Fund managers and institutional investors right now are probably winding up their positions. Those who can to lock in the gains that they've made over the year. So again, there might be either maintenance or a bit of downward pressure on the stock market at this point.
Of course, you've mentioned quite an interesting aspect there, Derry, the downward pressures. And looking at these developments, what do you expect for 2017? Of course, it's a bit early, but from where you sit, what do you expect?
Well, we still expect the government to run a substantial budget deficit. That implies that we expect that interest rates will sustain where they are. Of course, the inflation, the election aspect of it. So both those two factors combined will likely maintain downward pressure on stock prices. But we've seen some companies come through with some growth in results. We like the trends we are seeing in terms of profitability with regards to insurance companies, especially the life sector. So those are giving us a bit of hope. 2017 will not necessarily be a bad year.
Well, you say it's not exactly going to be a bad year, but we're seeing Kenya is going to be having elections, and we're also seeing Rwanda as well that has set a date for the 4th of August of 2017 as their election date for presidential elections. There's a lot more that is happening globally when you look at what Donald Trump, the decisions he's coming up with. And of course, we're not so sure what is going to come out of the United Kingdom. Do you think that this is going to be a different year economically, looking at the global scale?
From a global perspective, we expect a stronger dollar because we expect we've had noises about the Federal Reserve raising interest rates, and they're saying this is an opportune time to do this. That means a stronger dollar. You expect flight to quality to dollar-backed assets. As a result, we're chasing two things: safety in the USD as well as higher returns. So from a global perspective, capital flows might not augur well for emerging markets and Kenya in particular. Having said that, like I pointed out earlier, there are some bright spots. We expect recovery in the insurance sector, especially the companies with life exposure. Safaricom, we still expect a good performance. On the downside, we've got banks that need to do a bit of adjusting given the laws that have been passed. So it's a mixed bag, I would say.
All right, and looking at the dollar, do you think that the Fed or the Federal Reserve is going to be increasing the interest rates anytime soon, considering we hope that this would happen in December, but it doesn't seem to have happened? What are your thoughts on this one?
I think they'll be very cautious about doing it, and if they do it, you're talking about the range of maybe 10 to 15 basis points. May not be much in the grand scheme of things, but probably underlines or validates the trend of return to normalcy. However, I suspect, even having said that normalization of monetary policy in the US is going to be a very, very bumpy road, given the growth of subprime loans in autos, given the quantum of student loans. So on that side of the ocean, they will want to raise interest rates because they think that the labor markets have recovered, but there are reasons for doing it cautiously. So yes, I expect them to raise interest rates, but not substantially.
All right.
All right.
Many thanks, Johnson Derry. Of course, always a pleasure to have you on board just to give us the latest market analysis. And it looks like 2017 will be a good year for you, going by the way you're sharply dressed this afternoon. Well, aside from that, Joy, let's take a look at our Twitter poll question and what guys are saying.
Today. You're surely in a good mood today. All right, so we asked you earlier, how best can we use mobile technology applications for emergency response? And let's just take a look at some of the feedback. We're having one that's coming through here, and you're saying, if only our government system can understand the importance of mobile technologies, it would be much easier to deal with some of these emergencies. And we also have one coming through here. Someone here is saying, well, Matara is saying, when it comes to humanitarian technology, I think the best way to deal with it is to simplify it to the human eye and make it easier for users to understand.
Interesting. I'm seeing here at Njoroge saying that digital tech is the way to go. We hope the government through the ministry can mainstream this moving forward.
All right, and Eldon is saying, anticipating for this one, I just love how Philip Ogola does well in social media matters. I guess there's some of the feedback coming through regarding Philip Ogola's thoughts on humanitarian or digital humanitarianism. Well, thank you all for watching this edition of Business Today. My name is Joy Doreen Bira.
And my name is Abi Agina. Thank you for your valued company as we bring you the day's analysis from the business world. Let's do this tomorrow for your most comprehensive analysis across the continent. Let's catch up tomorrow. And we have Worldview coming up next.
Yes, Worldview is coming up just shortly. You catch up with what's making headlines around the world. We'll see you tomorrow.
This is KTN News.